I call Jamie Greene.
Presiding Officer, first of all, I too would like to join other members in congratulating Rona Mackay on securing this important debate. Blood must be available, quite simply, 24/7 throughout Scotland, and that includes remote areas of Scotland too. But blood has a very short shelf life and cannot be stockpiled. Therefore, every day NHS Scotland depends on donors to help maintain those stock levels. As Colin Smith has just said, the number of new donors has fallen by 30% in just 5 years, and less than 4% of the eligible population are active blood donors. It is also important to note in this debate that funding for Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service has fallen by 16% since 2010, and I hope that's something that the Minister will also heed and take into account. I think we're in absolute agreement that there's a need to encourage new people to give blood, and I think there's a whole generation really of Scots who don't remember the Rowan Atkinson talking to a stone TV adverts that I recall as a child, and the effect that had on me and the importance of the matter. So I think that we now need to think about how we encourage new people to give blood. On this specific debate, at a time when it's so critical that we need more blood, I think we cannot afford to exclude any potential donors unjustly. In my view, and I share the view from across the chamber, that men who have sex with men should not be prevented from donating blood based on their sexual orientation alone, but on their individual risk as assessed by a healthcare professional. There is little chance of a potential donor of any sexual orientation being allowed to donate blood if they're not entirely fit to do so. In fact, just yesterday I had a meeting in Inverclyde Royal Hospital with some nurses who work in blood-borne viruses, and they were telling me that actually the cases of heterosexual HIV infection is going up. So I think there's a huge amount of misconception around gay men and blood donation. Improvements in testing and many other safeguards have reduced the risk to an acceptable level. Due to the drop in donors that I mentioned, we face a shortage. Right now in Scotland, there are only 6 days' supply of blood type B negative, for example, and just 7 days' supply of A+. So this is a real problem if you are in need of blood and in one of those blood groups, or if you're involved in an accident or have an operation coming. So it really is affecting people in Scotland today. I'm sure we all agree that it is in our interest not to just prevent healthy people from donating blood, but if the scientific evidence tells us they do not pose a risk, we should allow them to do so. From a personal point of view, I am a card-carrying organ donor, but I have never given blood. And I guess a lot of that comes down to some of the issues that Patrick Harvey raised around the stigma of going and having that very difficult and private discussion about your sexual practices. I think we must make sure that our policies are based on scientific evidence and in the best interests of the public. I absolutely welcome this new SABTO policy review. I hope the UK and Scottish governments try to implement any recommendations that come out of it. We should remember that the regulation of blood donation keeps us all safe, but it should also keep us all equal. Thank you.